Hello, and welcome to the Notary Life with Kimmi Podcast. I am also one of the trainers with Notary Educators, which includes myself, Kimberly Nunnally, Angela Johnson, and Alexis Franklin. We each own our own very successful notary businesses and teach notaries in all 50 states to be great and grow their own business. We will discuss general notary work, apostilles, ink fingerprinting, and the duties of a notary signing agent, and much, much more. For all of your notary needs, please visit notaryeducatorsllc.com. We hope you enjoy the show, and we wish you much success. Hello, and welcome to Notary Life with Kimmi, and I am Kimmi, and I am also here with Alexis from Mobile Notary Services by Alexis. You want to say hey, Alexis?
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Yes, welcome, everyone, and we are missing Angela tonight, but she is in the comments, so she is participating that way. We'll get her insight. And we want to welcome, SRB 26, and Angela. Welcome, ladies. We have another Angela in the house. And again, I am Kimmi, and I want to thank you all for being here. You can go ahead and start dropping your questions in the chat. Hey, Davina, welcome. And I want to give a special shout out to Alexis and Angela for showing up for us the last 3 weeks. I have been missing in action. Hey, Miss Joanne and Tammy, welcome, ladies. I have been MIA. I'm going to tell you at the end of the program why I have been missing, so you can know what's been going on with me. And just a quick little story. You guys know we always like to share something. I wanted to share, since I have been MIA for the last 3 weeks, I also have not been doing my notary business for the last few weeks. And I was going to share with you how I have been accomplishing letting my customers know that I'm still very much interested in their business. So I have been allowing Angela to service my clients, and I put a voicemail on my telephone just saying, hey, I'm out of the office until whenever, but Angela would be more than happy to service you, and it'd be my pleasure to assist you when I get back. So that way my clients know that I'm very much open as a notary. I'm interested in their business, and that it'd be my pleasure to assist them at a later date, but I can give them what they need right now. So I'm also helping Angela grow her business. That helps me with my business, because they never forget who was the originating notary, which is me. So just be aware, it's always good to have a notary buddy, okay? And sometimes people say, well, how do you get a notary buddy? Part of that is you might have to just Google in your area, look for your notary with 5-star rating, and just call them and say, hey, I'm Kimmi. I'm in the area also. If you ever have any business that you need some assistance with or whatever, offer to help them first. Just don't start calling asking for things, but always show what you can do for someone else, okay? So let's welcome a few more people here. Hey, we got Althea and Stephanie. Hey, Joanne, Tammy.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, Aviro, welcome. Davina, I think we said hi already. Nice to be back. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Jinx. Yes. So, and just a couple more things I wanted to cover while we wait for a few comments in the chat. I want to give a big shout out to our students over at Notary Educators, because they have been doing an amazing job. Wow. Many of them have taken their first assignments doing refinances, loan modifications. Again, we train for all 50 states. We have people in California, everywhere, and they are just doing amazing. Their Google My Business pages, they have been really maximizing them and getting phone calls and actually picking up the phone. You guys know I talk about that all the time. So they're actually picking up the phone. So they are doing amazing things. We are over at Notary Educators, and it's our pleasure to be a part of their journey. Did you want to add anything else about that, Alexis?
Yes, I just wanted to say you guys are amazing. I just love to see the growth from people taking our Notary Basics class, then doing the loan signing classes, and then implementing everything that you all learned. I just love to see it. I love to hear about people really taking that, what they learned, and applying it to their day-to-day to get their business really growing, because it's not easy. It's really not. And I know we get a lot of things, like people are nervous, people are scared, but I just love to see people putting that fear aside and getting out there and getting things done. It's really, it's amazing.
Yeah, so it's our pleasure. Hey, Stephanie and Tanya, Shirley. Hope we're not missing anybody, but hello to everyone. Welcome. Go
Hello.
ahead and feel free to start dropping your comments in there. So let's see. We do have a comment from Miss Lisa, and she was like, "Hey, everyone. She's in Tampa, a notary, but she's moving to Dallas. Okay, that should be a good market for you too. Either
Yes.
one of those, Florida or Texas, are great markets. Very good. Oh, thanks for all we do on YouTube. It's our pleasure.
All right.
And hey, Miss Shatina, thank you. We love doing videos too. Thank you. It's our pleasure. Hey, Cynthia, Miss Amy, Minimalist. Hi, welcome everyone. Does your class help with training for loan documents? Yes, Miss Davina. The loan signing course would help you with that. And we do go over the most critical documents, about 17 of them actually. It's quite a few. So when we say 17, but we often teach you how to be a great notary. So you don't have to necessarily worry about every single document, but we teach you how to present the documents in that class. So yes, you would definitely get what you need. Definitely get what you need. Lisa, yeah, go ahead and take an assignment. What you waiting on?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
gotta
lack of
start.
training? Yeah, you got something to say about that, Alexis?
No, I just say you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta take one at least. Get your feet wet.
Yeah, start taking some assignments. And Angela's saying hey to everyone, even though she's not with us.
Hey,
Hey, Miss
Angela.
Cece. Yes, hey Angela. And let's see here. SRB 26 says, do you have to be fully bilingual to provide? To be
Uh-oh.
fully bilingual. Now, when you start talking about communicating people about documents, they do want to know. You need to be able to communicate with your signer. Sometimes that might be getting a translator. And certain states have a form if you do use a translator where they have to be under oath, and you do an acknowledgement or a direct on them also that they are the bilingual translator for the document. So yeah, you don't want to just start willy nilly. Even taking a part. So say they bring a family member with them. Let's stop here. Say they bring a family member with them. They don't speak English, but the family member does. So we're not just going to take the family member word for what they're saying, because they could be saying something that the client doesn't really understand, and you're notarizing that and you are responsible. So you want to make sure that you and your signer do understand each other. And if that means a translator, there's certain forms for states that you may have to fill out, okay? In the meantime, you can learn some basic greetings, though. That shows good faith that you're interested in the person. All right. So Miss Jones says, hey, she's excited. She's taking the basic A to Z class this weekend. We look forward to seeing you, Miss Jones. And then Miss Lynette is in the house. Hi. Hey, I miss you guys too. And good to see you, Alexis. Yes, it's good to be back. Good to be back. And then let's see. Tammy's question is, filing taxes, do you claim your office space on your taxes? So we're not tax accountants, but to answer your question, it would be a yes. And it's most of the time it's only a certain amount of space you can claim. But again, talk to your, if you're doing a home office, let me rephrase that, home office. So talk to your tax consultant, okay? Just to confirm. We got Miss Sharia is one of our students. Hi, Miss Sharia.
Hi, how are you?
Yes. Hey, Tawana from New Jersey is in the house. The Heaven Mandate. What a nice title like that. Hey, Alia, let's see. Alexis, thanks for your last week waiting on her postcard. So you must have helped with Google My Business.
All right, you are so welcome.
So Alexis is our Google My Business queen, ladies. If you gentlemen, if you have any questions about how to maximize that page, you may want a free consultation with her. She'll give you a few minutes, of course, for free. But if you need an actual appointment, she has those also. Okay. Let's see who else. Miss Davina. Yes, in Maryland. Okay, welcome. Shatina, does this include fingerprinting? So the course does not include fingerprinting, the basic course, but I do have a little mini course, I call it, which is all about fingerprinting. And it's only $49. And it's like you and I sitting in a room, and I teach you how to fingerprint. And you can add that to your Google My Business page. And one assignment will pay for the course. So that's at notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay. And Miss Lisa says she doesn't know where to start. And that's ink fingerprinting also. Let me just clarify. So I don't do live scan. It's not part of my business plan, because it can run anywhere from initial investment $600 plus. So I haven't found the need for that for me, but ink fingerprinting is still very lucrative. Okay. And the thing about fingerprinting, I-9 services, things like that ring every day of those additional services. But when it does ring, you want to be the notary that knows how to complete it. Okay. Because I have a lot of notaries say, I don't know how to do it. And then they get the phone call and they want me to train them in 5 minutes. I can't train you in 5 minutes. So go ahead and get all your services under your belt, listed on your page, and start making your money. Okay. Let's see here. So Lisa says she doesn't know where to start. Lisa, let us know what you're referring to. Maybe we'll give you tips on this live tonight, okay? They have, oh, that's Godwin. Hey, Godwin. Godwin is one of our students. I'm like, I thought that sounded familiar. Hey, Godwin, he's in Texas. Nice to see you. Andrea, good evening. Let's see, Miss Amy's journey. She says, and it's affordable. Thank you for that, because a lot of the training costs way more. So I'm definitely going to be taking them. Oh, yes. That's our pleasure. We do try to keep everything affordable. Honestly, a lot of students that have taken training, they may need to go back for training. We'll say that, okay? But it's our pleasure, though. Yeah. And then let's see. Miss Lisa says she need a mentor or a coach. I want to do Ron and sign agent. So we're actually in the state of Georgia, so we don't teach anything with Ron. However, I have 4 videos on Ron, and I think they will really help you to get a good basis as to if you even do Ron. Okay, so check that video, and I think it really help you about the Ron. And then our sign agent training for that, I have a few videos on that also. So just check that out too, okay? And let's see, Danielle is saying, and then one more thing. So this question is always interesting. So do you need a mentor or a coach? You want to talk about that, Alexis? Do you need a mentor or training a little bit? Because we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, so as far as like a mentor or coach type approach, we kind of stray away from that a little bit. So as far as those terminologies, we feel like if you learn the basics of being a notary, of being a signing agent, you should be able to take that and kind of run with it and kind of apply that knowledge mixed with common sense a little bit. You should be able to take that and flourish as far as your notary and signing agent business. When you kind of get into mentor a little bit, I don't know. I just feel like with proper training, you really shouldn't need a mentor. Now, of course, we all come upon these different little scenarios that we might need help with. That's completely different, in my opinion, than actually having a mentor. So that's kind of how we look at that approach to a mentor situation. So if you did take our signing agent course with us, we offer a group chat that you will join afterwards. And then in that group chat, if you come across any little crazy situations while out in the field, whether that's general notary work, signing agent, whatever the case may be, we will help you out if you reach out on the group chat. So we don't necessarily offer mentorship, but we do offer that to all our students, whether you take the notary basics or our loan signing class.
Yeah, because sometimes people honestly will say, I need a mentor. They really need training, or I need a coach, but they need training. So that's what we're all about. We want you the proper training, as already mentioned by Alexis, and that way you can fly. It's going to always be something that you don't know, but a lot of times that's what we found to be our experience. And that's why we do these free Notary Mentor Mondays. It's our way of coaching for free. And we don't want you to be a continual student either, where you got to pay for the rest of your life and still never able to execute. We really want you to get out there and start making your money. So watch our student reviews. In my YouTube videos, I have a playlist of people that have actually taken our classes, and then actually watch the ones on the Notary Educators LLC too. Someone just asked, how do you sign up for training? That we notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Miss Angel. Angel took our class. Let's see. If you're doing a POA or a will signing and the elderly client has an expired ID, how do you advise them? So, Angel, we always say know your state handbook. You would be surprised to know that many states you can use an expired ID. So, know your handbook. In my state, it's not a requirement. I know California can go back 5 years to use expired ID. So I think you're in Ohio, Angel, double check your handbook. But if your handbook does not say you cannot, an expired ID just may be fine. Okay. So always know your handbook. And we just talked about how to register for training. NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. Oh, you're welcome, Tammy. Hey, Danielle. I miss you too. It's good to be back. And Lisa says, yes, my Google My Business needs to maximize. Yes, Lisa, really work on that. If you need assistance with that, you can reach out to Alexis. Also at the Educator, she has her own little site there, her own little space rather, and she will be able to assist you. Um, Avero says, what kind of posts are good for Google My Business? You want to talk about that, Alexis?
Yeah, so when it comes to posting on Google, think about your business, think about your area, your territory, what's going on, and kind of go from there. I don't like to set specific things because it's kind of depends on you, where you're at, where you're located, and things like that. But just make sure you keep people updated on what's going on, whether that's talking about you, your business, what type of uh, documents you notarize, different common things you come across. And it can be a post such as you like to meet at the Starbucks up the street from you, like just some common area so people can generalize. They can get a feel for exactly like where you're at. You can make posts as far as the process of what that looks like of you being a mobile notary, or if you have an office space, or however you set up your business, you can make a post about that. You can make a post about anything surrounding your business. That's the cool thing about the post on Google. People can see it when they go to your Google page, and it's kind of almost like a Facebook type of feel, or it's like a social media thing. It just shows you the date and picture. You can do a picture, video, anything of that nature. But it just keeps people up to date on what's going on with your business. So personalize it, make it fun, and then let people see your face and who you are as a person, because pictures only do so much. So don't be afraid to post those 30-second videos and get your clients to get to know you as a person.
And sometimes for a post, I actually put like "Happy Sunday" from None Better Mobile Notary. I might even, like Lexa said, the 30-second videos. I do those a lot, and I've done that post actually. Hey, welcome to Georgia, or your hours, or just you with your stamp. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, so people just want to see you, and it could be a little quote. Hope you're having a good Saturday or happy Friday. It could be anything. Could be a post. Just make sure your your Google My Business page is engaging, just like anything else. When we look at it, that's what represents you and your company. Okay. Very good. So let's go on to Joanne. Joanne says, speaking of taxes, how do we claim notary on taxes? So again, we're not tax consultants, but normally the notary part, when we stamp whatever your state fee is, may be exempt from self-employment tax. So you may want to write that in your journal. So for example, in my journal, I always write, so if my fee was $40, and if I did 3 stamps in my state, it's $2 per stamp. I'll take that $6 and just write it to the side, so I can let my tax consultant know that, hey, this part is from me actually stamping as a notary. And then the rest of it is subject to whatever that tax is subject to. Okay. So that's just a little tip for the taxes. Shatina, you are so welcome. Stephanie want to know, how do you start a Google My Business page, Alexis?
You can go to google.com. You can type in Google My Business and just follow the steps to sign up. You have to verify your page in order for you to get full access. They'll send you a postcard in the mail, and you go from there, setting it up. After you get the postcard, put the code in, and then from there, you just go down the tabs on the left-hand side, one by one, filling in everything that they require and they ask of you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you need a little help with that, again, feel free to reach out to Alexis at Notary Educators LLC. Click the link and she'll be in touch, okay?
Yeah.
And then Steve. Hey, Steve. Steve was in our class. So nice to hear. He has a question. What's a reasonable after hours fee, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.? Just wondering any tips on that. Oh, so I would say at least, and you have to see what your area will allow, because whatever the market bear, but I'm thinking at least an extra $20, $30. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't work those later hours, but I could easily see adding on $25 for that late. Because if they need you that time of night, it's usually an emergency. So again, we're not trying to gouge the people, but you are offering a service, so at least 25, if not $50 surcharge. I believe you were, Steve, remind me, are you in Texas? Because I don't remember. Remind me what state, but you may be able to add at least that $25, okay? If not
And see,
more. And oh, go ahead, Alexis.
and I was just gonna say, and just think about it in this aspect too. If you sleep and your phone rings and it's 1 a.m., what number is gonna get you out that bed? Because I don't personally want to get up for $25, $35 total, and I have to drive maybe 20, 30 minutes somewhere. So kind of think about it in that aspect too. Like, okay, how much to make me move out the bed if I'm knocked out in the middle of my sleep? That'll be a great
Mm-hmm.
way for you to kind of see. And then also your travel fee, kind of include that in there too. I mean, you can make some good money if you're willing to work those hours. That's amazing.
Okay. And then also, let's see, I am being told that I am freezing up here. I am in a different location. Okay, I'm gonna see, can I get that fixed? Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. So Lavina, she hates trying to figure out the best way to price that general notary work. Oh, let me digress a little bit. That $25 fee, I'm talking about whatever your regular fee is on top of that plus 25 or more in addition, okay? Not just $25. Um, Lavina hates trying to figure out that price. I know that is still tricky for a lot of people trying to figure out that pricing on the Google on your general notary work, but don't be afraid to price your services for your value, what you're worth. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let Alexis talk about pricing a little bit. I'm gonna mute myself here and see, can I get my
So as far as pricing goes, I like to kind of look at it more so as, okay, so if I'm going 5 minutes up the street, I'm not gonna charge you the same I would if I'm going an hour away and I have to go to a hospital or something like that. So as far as pricing, just kind of think of it as, remember, you have to get into your vehicle, you have to like start your car, which that's money, and then from there you have to navigate the roads. And depending on the situation, if you have to go into someone's home, if it's a bunch of witnesses involved, it's a bunch of signers involved. So that can kind of tell you in a nutshell, like maybe you can you can set up something. Okay, this is my witness list. This is my minimum for travel. If it's this amount of mileage away, like if it's 10 miles away, I'm gonna do $25. So maybe if something like that you can set up for yourself personally, and maybe that way it'll be easier for you to add it up and kind of go from there. Like if you require a witness, that's an extra, $15, $20, depending on if you have somebody in your house already or if you got to really go get somebody or something like that. So maybe try something like that, actually writing it down, how much I'll charge for 0 to 10 miles, 10 to 20, and kind of go from there. It's tedious. I don't really like to do it like that. But if you're having trouble with pricing, I feel like that might be a great way for you to come up with numbers when you get those phone calls. Okay, a witness is needed. Okay, I have somebody in my house, so maybe you're not going to charge them a full 25 or whatever your witness fee is. Maybe you'll just charge them an extra 10, 15 since, they're already in your home. Maybe, just something like that. Maybe you can do that to make it easier on yourself so that you're not lowballing yourself when you're on the spot on those phone calls. Like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to charge. So you're like, okay, I'll just take $25. So that might be a great way for you to, just know your pricing ahead of time. It's quick, simple. Of course, some stuff is more complex. Like if you have to, like I said, navigate a hospital, that right there in itself is quite a bit of money as far as my regular general notary work. Even if it's a close hospital, it's still going to be a little bit more, or I ain't going to say a little, a significant more amount than if I'm just going up the street to like Walmart or Kroger or something to notarize something. So think about all those different aspects that'll go into your pricing and write it down. Maybe that'll help you at first. And then after that, you should be able to do it off the top of your head.
and then watch my 4 videos about pricing. I have maybe 4 or 5 about how to price things to think about. Always take into account your state fees. Sorry about that little connection problem, guys. I am in a different location this evening, so I hope that is better. Joanne, thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, please let me know, guys, if this is better. I tried to change my connection. I do apologize for that. And then Althea says she'll be getting started this weekend, signing up for class. Very good. Hey, Christy. Steve agrees about that pricing. Yeah, that's a hot topic, guys. Pricing is still sometimes complicated for me, myself, Angela, and Alexis all have different ways that we price, but don't be afraid because everyone is not your client. I don't know if you guys talked about that while I was having my little technical issue, but everyone's not your client, and that's okay. Just keep it moving. The right person will be for you, okay?
Yeah.
Very good. Lisa says, thanks. She appreciates everything. Angel loves the group. It's extremely helpful. Yeah, thank you. And Godwin says, we're great people. Thank you guys for that.
Thank you.
Sheila says she definitely need help with that. Sheila, what do you need help with? Is that pricing or what are we talking about? Google My Business? Because we talked about so much. Yes, Joanne, Google My Business is completely free. And that is the best way you're going to get your general notary work and also loan signing work. Companies will find you direct. I think Alexis just had a couple experiences today with people finding her direct on Google My Business for signings. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Alexis?
Yeah. Well, one thing I didn't want to say is for Google My Business, you just have to pay for two things, and that's completely up to you if you want to pay for those two things. You have to pay for your domain name, which is usually $12, depending on your domain. If it's something popular, it'd probably be a little more, and that's a year. And then you will have to pay for Google advertisement if you want to go that route. So those are the only two things that are not free, but everything else is free. And then
so just $12.
Mm-hmm. And I had a couple companies reach out to me from my Google My Business page to do work here, and it was just another way to establish connections as far as out of the state, which is amazing. As far as loan signing work, I should say.
Yep. So if you build it, they will come. So get your business page maximized. You can also get a free website from Google. A lot of times people say those are outdated, but you still need a website. And they have a free website and then also free Google My Business. Okay. So the Google My Business is when people type notary near me. That's how you'll populate there. And then the website piece of it is once people find you on Google, just like you're looking for something in your area. Over the weekend, I was looking for a barbecue place. So I put in barbecue near me. Places popped up. I clicked their website so I can see more about them. So even as a notary, you want to have your Google My Business page and you also want to have that free Google website. And I've been getting by with just fine on that. Feel free to check out my videos on Google My Business. If you need additional help, Alexis is here for you. But I'm pretty thorough and I have about 3 videos out there. And don't forget to ask for your reviews on Google because that's going to help with the algorithm and you start populating, people will find you, okay? And then Miss Amy's Journey says, or they ask you to post a video. I think you're still talking about Google My Business. Yes, if you post a video or any kind of statement, that's going to help too. The more you do, it's like shaking Google. It's like, hey, this is a good company. Any little hit out there, okay? Steve is in Pennsylvania. I don't know why I keep wanting to put you in Texas, Steve. Pennsylvania. Okay, good. And he understands a little bit more about that pricing. Althea said, can the business name be changed before you verify Google My Business page or wait until it has been verified? You can always change your name on Google. They're not very finicky about that, actually. Now, you don't want to change it too far off, but like in my case, for example, my business is None Better Mobile Notary Services. Once I added apostille, then I added an apostille, and Google didn't have a problem with that. Now, if I went to change it to something completely different, it might raise a red flag. They're really concerned about that address. That will get your account blocked quicker than anything else, is their address on Google. Okay, so if you got to change your name a little bit, it's okay. Hey, Nada Jean, what's going on with you? I saw you on Griff the other day, girl. I was like, you need a YouTube channel. How you doing? I saw you the other day. I said, look at Renata. All right, good to see you. Okay, Steve says, how do you do it, Alexis? Your pricing structure, or have you done enough now that you just know what to charge?
So honestly, it really just depends. I guess it's 3 different scenarios. Either you're going to come to me. I do have people come to my home right out front, notarized. I'm going to meet you somewhere, whether that's 3 minutes away. I have had somebody who's 3 minutes away. Whether that's 3 minutes away or whether that's like an hour away, or I'm gonna be already out and you call me and I'm already out moving, so it's no big deal in a sense. So it depends on first those three things. Secondly, what type of document and how long it's gonna take me to complete it. Are there gonna be 5 witnesses, 10 signers, something crazy like that, or is it just something simple, 1 page, no witness needed, and it's just one person needed to be notarized? So all of those things kind of take a part. The big thing on the way I price is just travel, really. That's kind of the main thing I say is travel. The next would be like convenience. So I do have a travel / convenience fee. So the travel is number one. How far do I have to go? And then and I have a minimum for that. So my minimum is $25. So in my head, I already know, let's say I'm already out and I'm at Kroger already. Somebody wants to meet me. If they're at Kroger, I have a lot of my Kroger is in the same parking lot as the UPS. So if I have had people call me while I was at Kroger doing my regular grocery shopping. So in that situation, I'm not going to charge you, what I would normally charge. And there, I'm just going to, $25. And that's more like a convenience fee. So kind of like that, just a lot of stuff goes into play, and you kind of just have to think about it like that. Every phone call is completely different. So every phone call will have a completely different price.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Every phone call is different. So I don't have a price list. Depends on the time of day. It's so many factors. Every single phone call is going to be different, but just always have your minimum. That's what I always say. What is your minimum to leave your home, and start from there? And where am I going is my other big one. And like Angela's mentioning in the chat, pricing, think about how long it's going to take you to do that notarization. And when we talk about time, we're not talking about the physical stamping of it. We're talking about how long it's going to take me to drive from my home to a hospital location, navigate the parking deck, go upstairs, wait on the doctor to tell me that the patient needs a few more minutes, or that they have been rolled down to a radiology appointment and I'm still sitting there waiting. So you got to look at all that. How much do you want to make per hour? That's another way to think about it. How much do you want to make per hour? The average person is trying to make more than $10 to $15, right? So you got to look at all that. Always factor in your state fees, but there's a lot of room there, a lot of wiggle room with pricing. So let's see. Danielle says, I agree. Making a price list. Yeah, make a price list. And what's your question, Danielle? Drop it in the chat.
And about the price list too, it doesn't have to be definite. It can just be something that you kind of make just to kind of a starting point. It doesn't have to be something definite. Like, okay, for this, I'm going to charge $45. Because like I said, every phone call is different. So when you make that list, kind of think about it in that aspect. It's not, for this, I'm going to charge $45. For this, I'm going to charge $55. No. Just kind of have it in your head, like, okay, my travel, maybe, what type of different fees go into it, like if witness is needed, something like that. So you can kind of start there. But I don't want you to make a price list, like a power of attorney is going to be this much money, or a living will is going to be this much. Like, don't do that. But yeah,
and don't post your price list either. I don't believe in posting your price list on Google. Why? Because if you put $50 for a power of attorney on your website, they're not going to call you. I have a video on this actually. Okay. So when they call you, they need to feel the value. Questions equal money. You guys hear me say that all the time. Every time I ask a question, that bill is racking up. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. How many people? How far I got to go? Is it a hospital? Is it a nursing home? Questions equal money. So don't put your price list on your website, because they will not call you. I guarantee you. Do you tell them $50 on your website? They're not going to call. I tell them $50 by the time I explain what's all involved. Then it's like, oh, okay. Not only are they going to pay that $50 I want, they're usually going to tip me too, because they realize it's such a valuable service. Okay. Thank you, Miss Joanne. So I did make a little change there. So hopefully that electrical part is technical part is doing a little bit better. So Miss Joanne says, since we are meeting complete strangers, aka when we do a notary, can we meet at a public place each time, like Panera? Sure, you can. So you can have several what we call virtual offices. That could be Panera. It could be McDonald's. Panera is very notary friendly. I always say that because they don't require you to buy anything to enter the store. You got Dunkin' Donuts could be a virtual. Some people use their actual post office like near their home because you can go in there usually 24 hours. That could be a virtual office for you. So that's what we call it, like a virtual office. And then you can even set a different price for that maybe if they come and meet you there versus going to their home. That could save a different I call that like a different level of service. And I often tell people I offer a couple different levels of service. And that'll help them with their budget. If they travel to me, it's one rate. If I travel to them, if they meet me halfway, like Alexa said earlier, she's already at Kroger. She may not charge her full price because she's already there. And for her to do that, that's just being nice because she could technically charge the full whatever her rate is because they don't know that she's already at Kroger, right? So we always still want to develop the relationship. So don't be so high priced that they don't want to use you or call you again because they will use you that one time because they may not have another option, right? But we want to be the go-to notary that they call us all the time. When they think notary, they're thinking Kimberly. When we say notary, they think Alexis or Angela. So you want that to be you too, okay? So yes, you can have a virtual office. And then Steve says again, so yes, Joanne, he has designated cheaper place for a meeting spot. Barnes and Noble, that's another one. Yep. And Angela does a lot at the library too now since things are back open. She has her one-on-ones at the library, and she will also meet you there to do notarizations too, I believe. Okay.
And then
And then, oh, go
I
ahead,
just want
Alex.
to comment on that real quick. When you say like cheaper price, just remember you're still having to come out your home if you're at home. You still have to kind of disrupt your day in order to get to that person. So although yes, you're meeting up at the Panera Bread or something like that, you don't have to make it significantly cheaper because at the end of the day, you're still providing a luxury service and it's a convenience, for them to even be able to meet you at a Panera to do this. That's how I kind of look at it. So just when you just said cheaper, I was like, don't go too cheap because at the end of the day, you still got to make money. But if it is something where you are out and about, okay, cool, you might not charge the same price as if you were at your home, relaxed, and you got to get up and drive 15 minutes to the Panera. That, makes sense.
Yeah, and then another reason you don't want to be too cheap, guys, because we don't want to set the expectation for clients that you can get a notary job done for $3, $5. No, this is still a specialty service. So we don't want to, bring the industry standard down, but there is always room for grace, okay? So Kathy says she just learned about the channel. Well, welcome to the channel, Kathy. Nice to have you here. She's in Georgia like we are. And she says she thought you can only charge $3. How are we charging more and how does she get started? So Kathy, actually in Georgia, we can only charge $2 per stamp. But that's where you need to know the handbook because the handbook says you can charge a travel fee as long as you and the client are in agreement. So that's how we're able to charge more money. How do you get started? You can start by watching my free videos. And then after that, if you need additional assistance, it'd be our pleasure to have like a intake call with you to see what class would be better for you if you need additional training. But watch some of my videos. I have several that address working in an attorney state because there are a few things you need to know about that. We're in an attorney state, but we teach all 50 states, and it would be our pleasure to help you with your journey. But again, everyone on the call should know your state rule as to what you can charge because you may be charging only $2 or $3 per the handbook, but you haven't read the handbook and it says that you could charge a travel fee as long as you and your client are in agreement. So actually, Kathy, just to answer your question too, again, a different way, I do not even charge the $2 per stamp that we can charge in the state of Georgia. I just charge my travel fee. So I give away free stamps. So we can, again, have that conversation later. But just so you can know, it's more than one way to, as they say, skin a cat. And we're not skinning cats on Notary Life with Kimmi, but that's just an expression, okay? So let's get to Cynthia. So Cynthia says, in the general notary class I attended, Angela showed us an example of her business card. Was the advertisement on the back of her card different documents, names? Yes, I do believe Angela lists different names on hers. I also list different documents. So I might list power of attorneys, school notes, DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle forms. And that way people know what you do prior to getting there. I list fingerprinting. I list the I-9 form. The only state that I know for sure that cannot complete the I-9, if I have anyone else here, let me know, but it's the state of California. They cannot complete the I-9 form, but we get requests for that all day long. So if you need additional training with that, I have a mini course on I-9 and fingerprinting. All of that is at Notary Educators LLC, because when your phone rings, you want to be the go-to notary where whatever they're calling you about, you know how to get it done. Or if you don't know, you got a notary partner that can help you get it done. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Alexis?
Oh.
All right then. So Steve is saying thank you. He's understanding. Yeah, don't post your price, Danielle. Don't post your prices. Angela is saying with pricing documents different too, which is why you have to ask questions. Again, I always say questions equal money. So some power of attorneys, as Angela's stating, might be one page, some might be two, some might be part of a mortgage. They're buying a home, so that adds more value too. So you just gotta questions equal money. You gotta ask those questions. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you guys, I was a little hesitant on asking questions. I'm like, dog, I don't want to ask all that. It takes 10 minutes just to find out what they need. But guess what? If you do not ask questions on the front end, you're going to be even madder on the back end, because they're going to tell you, I got one document, is really 5. Oh, it's just 2 of us that have to sign, it's 4. So you really want to clear all that up before you pull your car out the driveway. Because if you pull that car out and you get there, and I have had it happen, that's why I'm even getting every day, somebody play me. The next time, I make up for it for the next few clients, because you will not do it again. So you want to make sure you ask those questions, because you will be upset. Okay.
And
then
also
let's see. Oh, go ahead, Alexis.
Also, make sure you let them know you're going to need the full documents. You'll have people that they're like, oh, I just need one authorization or whatever case may be, and they try to pull out that one page. Make sure you know what document that is, and because it really could be something a little longer, a little lengthier, a little more is required, and they don't know, and you want to make sure it's complete. Maybe it needed a witness and it was on a different page, and you know what I mean, something like that. So make sure you always tell them on the phone too, and make sure you have the complete document.
Right. So, and what that looks like in the physical world when you're going out there doing your notarization. So I pull up at the appointment. Hey, I'm Kimberly. Da da da. Nice to meet you. May I see what documents we'll be notarizing today? Because, like Alexa said, they'll hand you one, and then it keeps sliding out 2 more. Keep sliding out another one. Keep sliding out. So before I start stamping, before I do anything, I want to physically touch everything that needs to be done. And I had this happen last month, actually. A lady came to me. She was selling a property, and she had a stack of documents like this, guys. I mean, like a stack. And I said to myself, that's not what we talked about. So I said, may I see everything that needs to be notarized? Oh, that's it right here. I'll just give it to you one at a time. No, you won't. I need to touch and feel everything. So as we're going through it, she had a stack like that, but it ended up being 8 notarizations, which is what we talked about. But each stack had about maybe 10 documents in between, and only the last page needed to be notarized. But again, I want to make sure before we get started, because I might be changing that price on you, or I might not even be servicing you. So you want to see it up front, okay? Before you get started. And I just gave you a little example of that. Okay. So Miss Tamika, hey Tamika, she says, so how do I find the documents to know how to price? I'm asking because I had a divorce packet the other day. I didn't know it was that many stamps needed and timing. Yes. So see, that's a good example of what we're talking about. Questions equal money on the front end. Okay, so you have a divorce packet. May I ask, how many times do I have to stamp as the notary? You have to be very specific with them, because you have your smart client out there that knows when you tell them what type of package is going to cost more, and they will try to play you. Okay. Or you have your innocent client who really just doesn't know. I don't know how many times. So then you have to know as a notary. And that's the question. Again, the same question is, can you look at the packet and tell me how many times will I need to sign it as the notary? And you have to speak slowly so they understand. Oh, I don't know, because they'll try to rush you off the phone, right? Take control of the phone call. Take control of the questions. And then that's how you're going to know, okay? So how much did you charge, Tamika? I'm just curious if you don't mind sharing, okay? If you don't want to, it's okay too.
And you won't, you said to find documents. No documents is the same at all. So it's not like you're gonna go on Google and search in like a divorce packet. No, because every document that people draw up across the country is gonna be different. So with that being, just like she said, just make sure you're asking those correct questions. And I mean, I would let people know up front, if depending on how the conversation is going, if you got somebody who's a little, you just feel like it's a little shady or something, then you can tell them like, okay, once I see the package, and however you want to say it, it might be a different price, and you can say it like that, and that's the truth, because some people will try to kind of pull one over on you. And mind you, they're going to their banks or they're going to their like local UPS, and they're not able to notarize it for a reason. So that's why they're coming to you. Mm-hmm. So just make sure you kind of stay firm on that, because you don't want to get in that situation and you did all those stamps, like you said, and I mean, come to find out, you really could have charged probably double what you charged. I mean, I don't know what you charged, but I'm just saying. Just make sure you really ask those questions.
Yeah, so don't forget, guys, I'm gonna say it again, questions equal money, because you will be upset, and they will, like I said, you got your expert person that knows how much a notary costs, and they will, as I stated again, they'll try to play you. All right, so play or be played, okay? All right, so you guys are so welcome, Steve. And then Lynn says, I'm new to your site and surely appreciate all of the value info. You are answering so many questions that are running through my mind, especially since I'm located in Georgia as well. Lynn, welcome to the channel, and it is our pleasure. And yes, again, we teach all 50 states, and we are in Georgia, so of course we can help our people in those attorney states, okay? Steve is in Pennsylvania. Angel, who is also on the chat tonight, she is in Ohio. Renata's on the chat with us. She's in California. They're previous students. So as I stated, we do teach all 50 states. Davina, it is our pleasure, and we do look forward to seeing you in a class. Angela says, and when someone calls, they may also be a repeat client. So you don't want to just price yourself too low, then they'll be expecting that price. And that's true too. And if I give someone a true discount, I'll let them know, hey, this is because of ABC, and let them know, don't expect that every single time, because it just may not happen. And Angela also says, like, she has a number of repeat clients, and she gives them sometimes a $5 to $10 discount off their initial service, depending on the document. And they appreciate that and continue to call her. Okay. So that's another tip, to be loyal to your clients, and they will be loyal to you. Okay. A lot of times people think notary is one and done, but it's not. They may need you today, but they might not call you again for 3 more months, or they will tell somebody else about you. You guys may have heard this story before that I'll tell really quick. And I had a lady, I did 5 notaries for her. And then her sister needed a notary. She said, oh, you should call my notary. And her sister was like, I didn't even know you had a notary. So, you know what I'm saying? So you want to be that go-to notary for the family, for the neighborhood, for the community. So having one good interaction, like if you come anywhere from a corporate background, they always say it takes 10 wrongs, or however it goes, to correct from one bad interaction. The reverse is true, that also, if you have one good interaction, they're going to tell 10 people about you. They're going to be like, man, my notary was great. Because usually we have a bad reputation, right? The little old lady with the glasses down and all, bad personality. But we roll up in there. That's not how we do it. We like, hey, thank you for using None Better Mobile Notary. My pleasure to be here. Stamp that paper. Okay. So let's see. Steve says, do you recommend signing by appointment? For example, your schedule is 9 to 9, but signing can be completed 24/7. Just wondering the way to word that on your website. So I always put true hours. I know some people say put 24/7, even though you're really not open 24/7. They'll say, well, you can have access to me 24/7. I only put when I'm actually working, because if you call me at 2:00 in the morning, I'm not even answering my phone. So I only put when I'm working, Steve. And that's what I recommend too. If you're actually open 24 hours, then put that on your website. But if you're not actually open 24 hours, don't put that, because you don't want to irritate people either. Because if I call you at 3 and you say, oh, I really didn't mean that, or you could leave me a message, that's my way of saying I'm open 24 hours, then I'm going to remember that. And they will write that on your website too. Say it 24 hours, but they really wasn't open. So, and by appointment only, I am by appointment only. So you have to have some kind of order in your world. So that would look like by appointment only. Why? Because if someone's calling you at 2, you can't be at 2 places at once. So I'm pretty much by appointment only. Now, my schedule might be more open certain days than others where I can get there in like 15 or 20 minutes. You know, if I can send someone. But yeah, only put what you're actually available to work. And then, yes, you must be organized because you don't want to tell someone 2 o'clock and you can't be there till 4. That's bad customer service. So I'm all about customer service. I'm not going to tell you I could be there at 3, knowing I really can't be there till 5. Or my next appointment might be tomorrow, but I'm just telling you that to keep you dangling on. That's poor customer service. I always provide 100% customer service. Okay, I'm all about that. Miss Libra says, hey, glad you live in Georgia. Yes, we are in the peach state. So Tamika says, lesson learned, LOL first stamp. $30 for a divorce package? I know you are mad, Tamika. That's okay, though. And we've all done that pricing error. Believe me when I tell you. It's even times now when I tell Angela, I should have charged more. I tell Alexis, dang, I hate I did that for such and such. So, yeah, you probably could have charged almost double that. At least double, if not triple. Yeah, but that's okay. Okay, so let's let Alexis talk about our upcoming notary class. I'll talk about one, and then I'm going to let you guys know what's been going on with me, okay?
All right, so we have a couple classes coming up next month for the month of March. So me and Kimmi teach the loan signing class. If you are interested in getting that going, getting that started, if you already have your certification and you need training, whatever the situation might be, we teach all 50 states. We're doing 2 classes next month on Sunday. They're both on Sundays. So the first one will be on March 13th and the second one will be on March 27th. Both are at 1 o'clock. We usually try to do like 1 to 4, but sometimes, we go over just a little bit. So if you could give us that like time frame, if you sign up with us. And during the loan signing course, we really want you to walk away feeling confident and feeling like you can go out there and tackle any loan package that you might get. We do really talk about attorney states. We go in depth with that. We know a lot of people are afraid to practice being a signing agent or whatever term you want to use because they're in attorney states. Just know that there is still work out there for you, and we go over that, how to get work, and different terminology as far as the reason behind the attorney state and why everyone's so scared to do loan signing in an attorney state. So we really go in depth there. Also, just overall, we're giving you signing companies that we like to work with and that are great for when you're first starting out. We give you an awesome list, really awesome. A lot of our clients really love the list and really have gotten a lot of signings off the list that we gave them so far. And also we go through the documents. We go through step by step from beginning to end the process. So what that looks like when you sign up for all these signing companies, then what happens next? You get notifications in regards to signings. We walk you through the whole process, how you're going to get your documents, the different packages you might see out there. And then we go through the documents. Now, we don't teach you every document that you'll ever see while being a loan signing agent. We go through processes as far as what to do when you get this document, how to kind of, I don't want to say wing it, but if you see the title of the document, you can kind of sum up, okay, this is what this document might be about. And then we go through the critical documents within loan packages that are very, very common, and little tips and tricks on those documents that'll make you the pro and the star notary signing agent so that you're preferred amongst these signing companies. Because some documents have little tiny details that a lot of notaries leave out, and we want to give you all those little tips and tricks in order to really have you stand out amongst the crowd. We go through post-signing information, what that looks like once you get done with the signing, after the documents are complete, how do you close the signing, what that looks like. So we give you a lot of great information. And like I said, we have 2 classes coming up next month. It'll be March 13th, which is Sunday, and March 27th. Both of them are from 1 to 4 p.m. and they're live via Zoom. So that's another great thing about our classes. They're interactive. If you have a question on the spot, we can answer it right then and there. We're not teaching you from a computer. It's us with you all, other students, and it's very fun, very interactive. and you'll get a lot of great information from it.
And then we also have our Notary Basics A to Z, and that's the one Angela and myself teach. And Alexis and I teach the loan signing that she was just talking about. For the basic, though, we want to help you have a good foundation as a notary. So that's important. What does that look like? Knowing how to properly do an acknowledgement, how to do a jurat, how to administer an oath, how to price your jobs, what to write in your journal, what kind of ID can you accept. All of those things make you a good notary. So that's what the basic course is from A to Z. And we have 2 of those again coming up in March. We do 2 of each class. So check all the classes out at notaryeducatorsllc.com and you can get more information about that. Okay, a couple more things in the chat before I tell you what's going on with me. So Danielle says that Texas does not authorize notaries to certify an I-9. So thank you so much for that, Danielle. So Texas as well as California cannot complete the I-9, okay? But for my other people out there, if you can complete it and you don't know how to, check out my little mini course on that. So you can add it to your Google page, okay? And then Angela says she actually gave someone a high price range last week because she felt that they were shady. So that's another thing you can do too. If you feel like you just don't want to be bothered with that client, you could outprice it. I mean, because sometimes you don't want to just say no and let them make the decision. And you will get that feeling the more and more you do the work. Keisha says, do you give a paper receipt for general notary work? Yes, Keisha. I always give a paper receipt. I also have an electronic receipt book that I use. It is called Cash Receipt. I had to look at my phone right quick. So you can download that app, Cash Receipt. And I also have the old-fashioned receipt book. And I give every single client a receipt, okay? Most states require you to at least disclose how much you're charging. But I also like to give them a receipt. It just looks more professional.
And another tip on the receipt,
go ahead.
Another tip is if you use Square Appointments, Square Appointments is the green app, not the black one. If you use Square Appointments and you click cash, you can still text them a receipt. So you can, if you use Square for your credit card payments, the Square Appointments, if you use it for credit card or cash, you can still text them a receipt. So you can do everything in that one app.
Yep. And then Nada Jean says she heard that Ron. Yes, New York can do Ron now. So I don't know all the details, but it is official. New York has Ron capability. So Cali is next. That's what she's thinking. And I think eventually it will hit all 50 states. Some might be 3 or 4 years from now because Georgia tends to be a little on the slow side. But learn about Ron, learn about the fees. I have about 4 videos on Ron. So if it's something you can add to your state, I always say be the well-rounded notary. When my phone ring, I can do everything. So when Ron does come to Georgia, I will be doing it. But I'm also going to take my time and look into the platforms, look into the fees, because there's so many fees associated with Ron. So make sure it's lucrative and you can make money, okay? Davina says she's on a military base, so no excuse. I think that's what that says. And Keisha says, do you provide a paper receipt, which we talked about? And if so, since you don't charge for the stamp, do you break it down in the receipt? Yeah, I put free stamps and I write free stamps and seals. So if I use my embosser on a will, power of attorney, or something like that, I do those for free. Also, I have read other notaries' websites where they charge for the gold seal. I do not charge for that. I don't nickel and dime my client. That's all included in my price. And I even write that on my receipt. Though I want them to see the value. I want them to feel the value, hear the value, and see the value. So I write free stamps on there, free seals if I did a gold seal for them, and then just a travel fee, okay? So yes, you break that down on your receipt. Angela's telling our other person that you probably could have charged triple for that divorce packet. Yeah, I agree too. So let's see, a couple more that I'm getting ready to tell you guys. So Althea says, for both classes, do you send blank copies of the documents? Yes, for both classes, you do get the documents in advance. And Davina says she probably need a basic. Yeah, most people we find do need to start with the basic course. That'll give you that good foundation. Because if you're not a good notary, you ain't going to be a good loan signing agent. There's no other way to say that. You got to know how to stamp those documents. Marketing and all the fancy stuff is all cute and fine. But if you don't know how to stamp that document, what you need to do, you will not be successful. You have to know. Because you start jacking up people's loan packages and loan signings, it's not going to be pretty. You will be what they call blackballed. You won't work. So you have too many errors, one or two, sure. But if you got to call a signing company and say, what type of ID can I use? Or if you got to call a signing company and say, can I use an expired ID? Or, calling them, how do I do an acknowledgement? They're going to look at you like, what? So that's your job. Certain things are your responsibility. Certain things are their responsibility. Okay, so you need to know how to be a good notary. And then Jean says this is helpful information. All of it is amazing. So helpful. It is our privilege. Okay, Ron, let me just tell you what Ron is right quick for people who are new with us. Ron is remote online notary. And that means that it's like you and I, like we're sitting here on the computer. The client would be in their home, I'm at my home, and the whole remote notarization happens remotely. So a lot of things are happening by remote nowadays, but certain states it still is not legal. So you want to make sure it's legal in your state before you take that on. Some states require special training, special certificates, special platforms. So you want to make sure what your state requires and if it's even legal in your state. It's legal in almost 30 states now, almost 30. Okay. And then let's see. Hi, ladies. Can you discuss square appointments? Yeah, really quick. Down south notary. So square appointments is really amazing. I use Square. You can let people either put themselves on your calendar and you can put it on your Google page. They can book themselves, or you can use a Square to actually book people. You book the appointment, or they can get on your calendar. So you open up Monday from 8 to 5, they can just pick a time slot and put themselves in there. So I personally stopped doing that because my business has changed directions. But at one time I did. So that means my phone would ding and say, hey, you got an appointment for 1 o'clock. So I would call the person back and say, hey, this is Kim over from None Better. I saw you just made an appointment with me. And I confirm the details with them, because just because they book on Square, you still need to call them and have a conversation, because they're not going to know what information you need to price it accordingly. Okay. And let's see. Althea says, oh, go ahead, Alexis.
I was just going to say, and the reason why I have Square appointments is for that reason. When I first started doing my notary career, I would let people book my calendar, but I quickly stopped that. So the reason I continue to use Square appointments is because it allows me to still take payments. I don't have to use the calendar part. I don't use the calendar part at all. But I do take payments through Square appointments, and I also send out invoices for different things in my business. You can send somebody like an email or text message, and they can just pay it via invoice, depending on what services you're offering that would need an invoice. So you don't have to use the calendar part for Square appointments. You can just use it to take payments.
Yeah, I love Square. And one last thing, and I'm getting ready to talk. So the cash receipt is this gold. I don't know if you can see that or not. No, you cannot, because I cannot. But it's the gold receipt book it's a gold app with a black receipt book, because someone wanted clarification. They saw more than one. Okay. So guys, let me tell you what's been going on with me. So as you know, I've been MIA for the last 3 weeks. And sadly, I have to let you guys know that I lost my mom last Sunday, actually. So she had a fall. You guys know she was 87, and she had a fall. She had a hip surgery. They said it went well, and then she ended up having a stroke. So as I tell you this, I am still in complete disbelief that this has happened. My mom was my best friend. You guys know she's in a lot of my videos, and I'm just going to miss her. I thank you all for the support. Many of you have reached out asking, where am I at? What am I doing? That's why Angela and Alexis have been holding down the fort. And yeah, Nada Jane. So yeah, I lost my mom, and Bobby Jean Elin is her name. And like I said, many of you saw her from the videos. And I do have one more to release that she was in. And this is a tragedy for my family. And she was the best mom ever. I mean, that's all I could say. And I'm going to miss her. And I won't talk too much longer, guys, because I didn't want to have this huge meltdown. But many of you, like I said, have wondered where I was. And I could not talk about where I was without not talking about my mommy. So as I stated before, she was my best friend. And you guys know her from the videos. And she was more than that. I have a brother and a sister that are left. I lost my dad 2 years ago in March. And in 2019, I lost my youngest sister. And we've had a lot going on in our family the last few years, quite honestly. But yeah, Nana Jean understands. So a lot of you, thank you guys for all of your support. I really appreciate it. So we've had a lot going on in our family. My mom was a trooper, and she raised me to be that person too. I'm not quite as strong as she is because I have a little bit more emotion, I like to say. But I've been pacing myself, and I'm getting through it. So I am accepting all your prayers. I thank you guys so much. And we're going to dedicate this episode to my mommy. And again, I thank you all, okay? So I'm going to wrap it up and have a good night, okay?
Thank you again for listening to the Notary Life with Kimmi podcast. We would love to be a part of your notary journey. Please visit us at notaryeducatorsllc.com for all of your notary training needs. Also, please feel free to join the Notary Life with Kimmi YouTube channel, where Kimmi has over 400 videos that will help you to grow and build a successful notary business. Until the next episode, we wish you much success on your journey. Bye.